The Bathsheba. The first and only appearance of this creature known to have existed is within the lab of the rogue android David, as a sketching of his experiments and visions of a xenomorphic beast. David, following the events of his arrival at Planet 4, aka Paradise, after the fall of the USCSS Prometheus, began to relay information about his discoveries and creations back to the Wayland Corporation, which would soon become Weyland-Yutani through a corporate merger. We know very little of this mysterious creature he titled the Bathsheba, and whether or not it was in reality a living, breathing creature, or just one of David's visions of perfection. But what we do know, besides from whether the creature ever really actually existed or not, is that David has given it its name for a very specific reason, due to something significantly tied to his ego. In the stories of the Hebrew Bible, King David, as he would come to be known, began as a servant, a young shepherd who served the lords and noblemen above him. It wasn't until one day he laid slain to a fierce and mighty enemy warrior known by the name of Goliath, with nothing more than a stone and a slingshot. After this, he would finally achieve notoriety, success, fortune, and most of all, power. He eventually became king of the city of Saul, and whilst in power conquered the city of Jerusalem, taking from them the Ark of the Covenant and transporting it back to Saul. It was there that King David would take many queens. However, one especially important to him was that he seeked out in pursuit of pure lust at the sight of her. Her name was Bathsheba, and it was with her that he impregnated and after the proxy murder of her husband would come to marry her. David chose his own name upon his creation on Earth. Sir Peter Weyland greeted his new creation and after asking him to describe the world surrounding the android, asked the synthetic what his name was. The synthetic looked over to and observed a statue of the biblical King David, created by sculptor and painter Michelangelo. It was at this moment that David took his name. And it was almost like David had seen into his future, because much of what he would come to do would be in direct reflection of these biblical stories of King David himself. David would be the one to defeat an advanced civilization of enemies much greater than he. This was his literal David and Goliath moment. He would take the kingdom of Saul. In place, instead, he would take Planet 4 for himself to use as his laboratory, or his kingdom. And the lust for his future wife Bathsheba would manifest in the form of his longing to transform Elizabeth Shaw into his queen. A xenomorph-praedomorph queen in the image of his ideal version of biological perfection. I don't specifically believe that the Bathsheba creature he sketched was actually something he ended up creating. However, I do believe that this creature was just one of many steps in his head that the evolution of his creature took, before he was able to land on an eventual masterpiece. Now, just moving away from the in-universe stuff for a moment, I want to quickly tell you all about an artist and creative within the Alien universe and fandom. His name is Dane Hallett. Dane Hallett is a concept prop designer and producer as well as a creature artist. Hallett has a quite broad skill set working in many franchises and universes, but has chosen to grace the Alien community with his talents in specific. Undoubtedly, his largest contribution to the Alien franchise would have to be that of his work within the film Alien Covenant. Working alongside Matt Hatton, Mr. Hallett helped to create David's lab, and is responsible for the twisted and dark sketches seen hanging from just about every ceiling and wall you can see there, illustrating the android's dark descent into insanity, infatuation, and obsession over becoming the master of biological engineering, with the goal to create the perfect organism. Since then, there have been many numerous art books, such as the 40 Years 40 Artist books, paying homage to his works, as well as the amazing in-universe book called David's Drawings, collecting all of David's sketches into a journal for fans to admire and study. More recently though, Mr. Hallett has been working to produce a website for his works. Then, they contacted me months prior asking if I would be able to speak to you all about this project that they've been working on. And of course, for anyone working so hard in the Alien universe, I was more than happy to oblige. As a thanks for my help, I was sent an early copy of Dane Hallett's Bathsheba that was originally made part of an art exhibition within New South Wales, here in Australia. The Bathsheba artwork I discussed in today's datalog is just one of Hallett's many incredible works within David's lab, featured within the film Alien Covenant. The attention to detail, as well as the haunting and Giger-esque appearance, all go to make this artwork something to marvel at. My copy of Bathsheba is one of only 100 copies that are being produced, and outside of this, after it sells out, you'll never be able to get another one again. Specifically, on the letter of authenticity that I received alongside the artwork, it states that my copy is number 10 of 100, meaning that I was amongst the first 10 to receive this beautiful work of art. And just to clarify, I was not gifted this, I still had to pay for it, and this is in no way a paid promotion of any kind. I just like to promote those in the Alien universe and fandom who really do deserve it. In addition to his great works, it is crazy to think that Hallett and I share the same backyard, so to speak. As I am from Australia and the state of New South Wales, so is Mr. Hallett. It makes me very proud that we have such talented people coming from all over the world to work on the Alien franchise, let alone someone I share a state with. If you want to pick up your own copy of Bathsheba before they run out, you need to go to his new website, danehallett.com. And once there, navigate to the store page. There you can purchase the very limited run of the Bathsheba sketches, but if you want one, you're gonna have to be quick. But even if you miss out, never fear, because Dane Hallett is far from done. The plan is to keep producing more and more artwork for the community to get their hands on. So in the future, more and more artworks will be posted to the site for you to get your hands on, and even after the Bathshebas run out completely. And I'm sure there'll be those of you, sort of like me, that want to try and collect at least one of each. And if purchasing the pieces and the price seems a little bit too much for you, the site offers a payment plan method of purchase, which breaks the payments down into multiple installments over a number of weeks, allowing you to pay it off piece by piece as time goes by, and not having to shill out a bunch of credits all at once. Aside from the art purchases on the site, you can additionally explore his brushstrokes of his industrious career within the film industry by visiting his portfolio page and the About section of his website, getting to see for yourself his astonishing works both within but also outside of the Alien universe, as well as getting to know a little bit more about himself in the process. Something that caught my eye was a film that he wrote and directed titled Raunchy. If you are into anything alien or Lovecraftian, I think it's definitely worth a watch. But either way, I think I speak for most of us when I say that we are excited to see what Mr. Hallett will terrify us with next. Before you go, I wanted to let you know about the ACHERON Colonial Marketplace, the one-stop shop for all Project ACHERON merchandise. All proceeds go to fund our future endeavours under the project, so if you want to support the channel and look good doing it, pick up some ACHERON merch. But what other datalogs would you like to see? If you have any ideas or have any questions to be answered, please leave them in the comments or contact me directly through the Project ACHERON Discord. If you enjoyed today's segment, please leave a like and share the video. And if you really want to support what we do here and gain access to a bunch of awesome rewards, consider becoming a Project ACHERON channel member, like Project Director Chris Dasinger and team member Raunchy. I hope to see you all here again very soon, but until then, this is the ACHERON Project signing off.